that game, just kind of what are some of the things that stuck out to you about their defense and how they were manipulating you guys?
I don't know about manipulating us. I think that we had real opportunities in the first half. Some operational mistakes screwed us up on the first drive. We scored 2 touchdowns. Had a bad snap on the second drive, or on the third drive. We had 4 drives in the first half, scored 14 points and missed a field goal and kind of screwed that drive up. So I thought, the execution was decent, good. You're not going to beat really good teams, you got to play better than that. And then the second half, it just got away from us a little bit. Again, operational mistakes and stuff that I got to clean up, but certainly a lot to learn from. We have kind of put that to bed and moved on and have refocused and know what we need to fix. But there was, as always, some good, some bad.
What was the biggest lesson from that one?
I kind of said it, but the operational mistakes killed us. We fumbled a snap on the 2nd and 7 on the first drive coming out where they kicked the field goal. We're down 11. We fumble a snap. 3rd and 7. We don't get enough yardage on it. Complete it, but not enough yardage. And 3 and out. Now you're down 18. So it changed quick. And we're not necessarily built like that, where we like to stay ahead of the sticks and make it so we can do whatever we want. When you screw downs up, you don't get the opportunity to do that. So I think the operational stuff was really the biggest thing. So pre-snap penalties. There's a penalty on 4th and 1 where we're going for it, and that's on me. So I got to clean that up. But those are the things that I lay in bed at night frustrated about. But it wasn't a lack of effort. It's not a lack of talent. Where I reaffirmed to them in the first half against the top 10 team in the country, we belonged and we were right there. We probably could have scored 3 touchdowns. So we're good. We just need to clean it up.
Was that just first start yips for Luka on some of those center quarterback exchanges? Or?
Well, one of them was there were 3 that I can remember, and I think 2 of them are on the quarterback. So one, Jabari just dropped. It was a good snap. The other one, Vonnie's got to get in there and ride him. And then the other one was just too low. And so I don't think he had jitters in that sense, because he went in when Bam got hurt against San Diego State, and we didn't have any issues snaps. So I don't think so. I think Luka is just mentally tough and dialed and focused. Like he is not nervous. He might be geeked up, but he's not nervous.
How would you assess Giovanni through the first 3 games?
We've kept turnovers to a minimum. We could be better in decision making. I'm going to say that about every quarterback ever. But he's given us a chance. There's certainly things we need to clean up if we're going to beat good teams.
Yeah, that was going to be my next thing is, like, what's 1 or 2 areas maybe that he needs to improve on to kind of get to open things up a bit?
Yeah, there's just a couple throws that I wish, we need to hit that. We need a little bit better ball there. We need to make the right read. But he's in his 3rd game or going into his 4th game in this offense. So we're getting there, and we're installing new things. We're growing this offense and new words and new reads, and try to keep stuff consistent. Hey, this is called this, but it's the same as this. So I think he's getting more comfortable, but we just need him to play cleaner and cleaner as he plays more.
Building
what
up.
ways have you seen him grow?
What's that?
What ways have you seen him grow from the first snap?
I think he's just more comfortable. We're able to put a little bit more on his plate week to week. We had more run alerts and just for the different things that they did defensively. So he handled that well. I think he's just getting more comfortable, and we're able to give him more. I think we've probably thrown it a little more in each of the games, but need to continue to grow that.
Coach Bray said yesterday in his press conference that it kind of came down to the fundamentals at the end of the game. He mentioned some defensive fundamentals, but on the offense, what are some fundamentals you guys are kind of going back to this week to make sure those mistakes don't happen this week?
We just talk about the details. You take it for granted, but the snap is a very critical piece of every single play. The cadence and the volume at which we say the cadence is a very critical. So don't take those things for granted. I told the players this week, if you don't have time to do it right, then when are you gonna have time to do it over? And they need to do it right the first time. Don't take those little things for granted. And that's just life, and that's maturing and growing up. But I think they're buying in and doing a good job.
What does getting Darius back this week do for your passing game?
Just another weapon that we can throw to, bigger body. I think our receivers have done a nice job. That we're getting consistency from that group, and they're catching it when we get it to them. But another playmaker that we can throw it to on the perimeter, and bigger body, bigger target. But I'm really happy with the way that group's playing.
Walker's obviously had a pretty massive target share through the first 3 games. With getting Clemens back, do you see that kind of dropping off and getting more spread out a little bit, or continue to feed Trent?
I know he's getting a lot of targets. Those guys are all good players. I think it just happens. He's in the right place. He's really consistent, and the ball finds a way to those people. I think the more you try to dial it towards, we got to get this guy the ball, the more challenging it is to get that guy that ball, because they'll start congregating towards him. You got to let the offense be the offense, and all those guys fit into it well.
Purdue's played 2 games, blowouts both directions.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make it a little harder to look at their tape? And in looking at the tape, what do you can you take out of those 2 games?
Yeah, I think the first game is, they had their way, and then the second one, I thought it just got away from them. Which, those games can be like that sometimes. That thing cascaded quickly, but they're a way better team than what that score reflected, in my opinion. I think they're big and physical up front. I think, you just have to look for consistencies and commonalities throughout the games, things they do over and over, and learning their base and what that is and how to attack that, and then being ready for those counter punches that everybody has in their defense.
You're obviously not going to give us your game plan, but as you move forward, how do you kind of balance the sticking to your ground and pound kind of identity with opening things up a bit, giving Giovanni more?
Yeah, just kind of let it happen naturally. I think, we'll grow it and get comfortable with him, and he'll get comfortable. As we progress through things, there's going to be stuff that you put in for a game plan that you're going to run that week. And then there's going to be stuff, that you put in and you keep it in the pressure cooker for a little while. You keep it in the warmer and pull it out when you're ready to pull it out. So the offense, the terminology, it grows and grows and grows, and then you have access to more stuff. So I think it'll naturally open up a little bit. But I also think that you kind of have to lean into who you are and what you're good at. And I think you saw in the first half, if we can play clean operationally and do what we want to do, we belonged on the field with that football team. We ran for 100 and threw for 100 in the first half and scored 14, and probably should have scored, in my opinion, 21. There's a formula, but there's also, I would also agree that there's an aggressiveness that we want to find those situations where we can be aggressive. It's like a stick shift with these kids know nothing about, but you got to know when to just be cool in second and then put it in the fifth. You got to know when to attack.
Purdue's got one of the better safeties in the country playing on the back end of their defense. Just kind of how do you game plan for a guy like that? You know who they are. You respect all of them. It's the system. They play a very unique style of defense. So I think the system is more what we're focused on. They're all really good. They're all big physical guys. So we're not to the point of, hey, we have to be aware of this number. They are, but it's more of learning the system right now, learning the base.
How was it
Last
unique?
question, guys.
Oh,
You said last week you were trying to add more explosives, and I don't think the score sheet really represented that. Did you think the opportunities were there for it?
Maybe. Great answer, right?
Tried the double pass.
Yeah, we tried some stuff. We tried to get aggressive. We tried to do some different things. I'm sorry, it's not super fresh on my mind right now, but there was some, probably not enough, and that's on me. I gotta figure out ways to do that.
Really
Give it your
quickly, you
last
just said that the Purdue defense is unique. How is it unique, do you feel like?
They run a system where they're going to play man, and they play man, and they know they play man, and it's like, all right, this is what we do, and we're good at it, and we're going to stop you. So they are going to be in a defense more often than teams just sit in one defense. But they're schooled up on it, and they're good at it.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank
Coach.
you.